This is homework for 1/28/15 Wednesday night. We're continuing with our being able to read a story problem, write the equation, and then solve the equation. So this first problem says Fred bought a soft drink for $3 and 5 candy bars. He spent a total of $18. How much did each candy bar cost? Now, if I read that last sentence, it really helps me to decide what the variable is going to represent. I know that the variable is going to represent the cost of each candy bar because that's what it's asking me to figure out. So, turn the video off, try to write an equation, and then you can turn it back on and check to see if you wrote the correct equation and solved the correct equation. Okay, my correct equation, leave the door closed. The correct equation is 5x plus 3 equals 18. Now you know that x is the cost per candy bar, and 5 of them were bought, so 5 times the cost of the candy bar plus 3 is equal to 18. And then, of course, I solve it, and I get $3. Those were very expensive candy bars. Number 2. Mike spent half his allowance going to the movies. He washed the family car and earned $7. What is his weekly allowance if he ended up with $15? Once again, this last sentence helps me determine what the variable is going to be defined as, and I want you to write that on your paper. X equals whatever it equals. In this case, it equals what his weekly allowance is. So turn the video off. Try to write the equation, solve the equation, and then check your work. So just so you can see what the equation is before you check your work, if we say that X is what his weekly allowance is, he spent half of it, so that's why I'm dividing X by 2. And then he earned $7 by washing his family's car, and he ended with 15. This is the equation you should solve. Don't look at the actual work that I did until you've actually solved this equation on your own, and then you can restart the video and check your work. Okay, so here's the work. Notice that the first thing I always write down is what the X represents. It represents his weekly allowance. Okay, number 3. Shahela took 3 busloads of students to Oaks Park. 7 students rode in a limousine with Mr. Brown. If 106 students went to Oaks Park, how many were on, and this should say each bus. How many were on each bus? We want to know the amount of students per bus. So the first thing you should do is define X as the number of students per bus. Go ahead and shut the video off, write your equation, and then turn it back on to check. Okay, if X is equal to the number on each bus, then 3 buses were taken times however many were on each bus plus 7 were in a limousine, and that's equal to 106. Okay, solve this equation and then turn the video back on and check to make sure you solved it correctly. Okay, so notice I defined my variable, subtracting 7 from each side, dividing by 3. There were 33 students on each bus. Number 4. John was trying to figure out how many Seahawk fans were on each of the 17 buses he saw arrive at the Super Bowl. He knows that 340 fans arrived by bus. How many were on each bus? Yeah, typo there, on each bus. Okay, what does the X stand for? Look at the last sentence. How many were on each bus? So number on each bus. Okay, turn the video off. Try to write the equation on your own and then turn it back on and check it. So there were 17 buses. We don't know how many were on each bus, so 17 times the number on each bus is equal to 340. Turn the video off, solve it, and then check your work. So x is equal to the number on each bus. And 17 times x equals 340. That's only a one-step problem. And 340 divided by 17 is 20 on each bus. Done.